Hey, it's James and Michael with the Crypto Guys. And in today's video, Bitcoin's worst case scenario. Well, Michael's crypto coach, who's a well-known figure in this industry, has some gloomy news, but Michael doesn't necessarily agree. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about trading strategy, things that you need to consider, and also what we're doing now. So make sure you watch this video right to the end and hit the like button if you like the content. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. And the last thing I'll say is a disclaimer. Remember, this is not financial advice like any kind of investment. You've got to do your own due diligence. So Michael, let's talk about this and everything that's happened in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that we are getting a lower low if we compare to yesterday, right? And that's important to look at because we are still definitely in the downtrend. If we look at the EMA ribbon on the 4-hour, we're way below. We're definitely bearish going down. And the question is how low we're going to go. And I think this is where there's a little bit of dispute in the community. And even one of my crypto coaches, a well-known YouTuber as well, he's very bearish. And his argument is saying, let's be very, cash positive. The way he communicated today shocked me a little bit because I see things a little bit different, but his strength is not really technical analysis. He's a mathematician, so he's very good at that. But I see a bullish divergence, and you can see that right here, that we're getting on the 4-hour candles on the RSI, we're going up, but on the candles up, we're going down. So that's called a bullish divergence. And so I think the bottom is very close, very close. And but of course I could be wrong. This is not financial advice. And I was showing that like his argument, basically the way he was talking today, is that we're going to break this and we're going to go into this accumulation zone, the green zone. And this is where the best place to accumulate Bitcoin is. And he's saying we're basically going to break this support here, which we've got many places. We have a lot of support here over and over again, right? And so he's saying we're going to break that. I'm not sure that we will. I think that I put this little line here because I think we need to verify before we assume anything. Technically, on the longer time frame, we are still putting higher highs, right? Like it's a higher high, right? We want on a higher high. So because we were previous to that 60 around 65,000, and now we went up to 69, right about there, and then our lowest was about 28, and now we're 33. So we need to see if we're going to go below 33. If we go below 33 and go below 30, then I agree that we're going to make our way to the green zone. Now if that was to happen, what will be the strategy, you may ask me? And it's very simple, that you start accumulation, right? Accumulation into the green zone. That's what you would do. That basically means you start buying. And so the whole strategy basically is that you want to exit some of your buys that you've made, according to him, which I was surprised to hear that, because I think the bottom might be soon. So let's say that it was to go down to 35 and bounce, and you sold everything and you think it's going to go back down, but then it doesn't, and it just shoots up. Then you lost the opportunity to make serious money and buying this dip. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. And so I'm not saying that he's right or he's wrong. I would not make that claim. He's a very smart guy. I respect him. That's why he's my coach. So I think at this stage, we just have to be open-minded to both people could be right. I could be right and he could be right. So go 50-50. I would not sell all my position, and my coach did not sell all of his position, but I will sell a little bit if we get a bit of a pump. I'm very cash positive now, but if it goes up a bit, right, and I will probably sell around here just to exit some, and then I'll wait it out and buy more here, right? And I may go 50-60% of my capital here. And if I'm right and it bounces, at least I'm in the game. If I'm wrong, I still have 40-50% to play with at lower levels, like 30 or even less than that. So yeah, that's what I think, and that's my opinion. so back to, not to keep quoting Warren Buffett, but again, it's back to the idea of patience, right? Obviously having a strategy, but being patient, and how the market does transfer money from the impatient to the patient. Yeah. And the only argument I have about what he's saying is that basically we haven't broke support. You understand? And he doesn't use this technical analysis, but I do. I'm very strong on using all the technical analysis. He's not. He's more of a mathematician. So until we break this white line, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. I mean, from all I know, like we may just bounce off here. Why wouldn't you buy in and just wait it out? And then we go back to the resistance zone. We may even break that. Who knows, right? So for all I know, that could happen. I mean, I don't deny that it could also go sideways for a while, right? And then go back, but we could also get a wick and then go right back up. So all of those things are possible. But yeah, so be open-minded. I don't want to give wrong advice in this channel. I think you need to be open-minded to both scenarios at this time, because we are divided in the crypto community at this stage, right? Some think we're gonna worst case is 30,000 and we'll pump. I said 35.7, then we pump. And he's saying is going to go even lower than 30 today. So that was surprising, right? So yeah.
Only we had a crystal ball. That's what everyone everyone wishes they had, but we don't. So again, it comes back to strategy, and even the best strategy, it still leaves room for uncertainty. But part of being in this industry is being okay with a certain amount of uncertainty, right?
You know what? Risk. Yeah. Do you know what we both agree on? The guy who like coaches me is that we both agree that Bitcoin will follow the market. So if the traditional markets like S&P 500 does well or doesn't crash too much, then Bitcoin will also follow that. And so he's saying altcoins will bleed a lot if we break like support. That I agree with. My whole altcoin strategy up until now was assuming we would not break this support. If that could happen, you're better off selling your altcoin position. I would wait. I wouldn't do it right now. Like I said, we'll wait for a bit of a pump, and I think we might get that. And then I would sell my altcoin positions and be 80% cash positive, and then start buying again at 35.7. I would prefer to do that at this stage. So anyway, so we both agree though that Bitcoin will follow the traditional markets. And the question is, well, what are the traditional markets going to do, right? So don't forget, that Warren Buffett bought $1 billion of Bitcoin at a much higher price. So, yeah.
That's true. And if there's anyone who has been successful at reading the markets and the trends, it's him. So it's interesting that, he bought when he did. So yeah, again, we'll see what happens.
But those guys at the same time, they don't have a lot of choice, like buying $1 billion of Bitcoin. It's not like you can get the lowest price because there's not enough volume to support $1 billion transaction on Bitcoin, right? So when you're trading with that much money, you don't have as much flexibility. The people who buy the lowest price is usually a wick, right? Like the wick goes down and goes back up, but there wasn't that much volume at that price. Not like you can put $1 billion at the lowest price. So I agree with my coach. My coach is not saying that billionaires will be able to buy that wick. No, it'll be average people, millionaires will be able to buy it, sure, but not billionaires, because especially now at $1 billion, there's just not be enough volume at the lower levels. So when you get a wick down, it's not for billionaires, it's for average people, right? And then they buy and it brings it back up. So billionaires never get the cheapest price and they never sell at the highest price. So billionaires are really playing this as a long play. And of course, Bitcoin is one thing is that we all agree is Bitcoin is always going up in the long term. So the worst case, and I don't want that. I don't want anybody to do that. Like we'd be stuck in a bearish like scenario for a while. And then we just got to hold our like position and we can't buy because you're not cash positive. That would not be good, right? So I agree. We agree on a lot of points. You have to be cash positive. Remember, I've been saying that for many days now. But I don't agree that you don't buy at all, because then you're not in the game. If you don't play the game, you don't win, right? You got to play the game. So, but you can play, you can buy some. And I would prefer at this stage to sell a little bit of my position, especially altcoins, or, reduce it and then see if I'm right or not. Buying at the 35.7 would be good for me. I'll still do that. But if I'm wrong and he's right, then I still have a play, right? At least I wasn't so arrogant and say, no, I'm right and he's wrong, right? So I'm still open-minded to his point that we could be in a bear market over the long term, that we may not turn around so quickly. That is still a possibility. Yes, that's true.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, as always, Michael, great to chat with you. Great to hear your insights and strategies on crypto, especially Bitcoin. And if you like the content of this channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and hey, leave us a comment. We read all the comments, and we'll definitely comment back. But other than that, time for us to sign off here, and we will catch you in the next video.
All right, everybody. Bye for now.
All right. See ya.